Hi everyone! Today I'm going to show you how to make your own potting mix. It's cheap, easy. You're going to be able to save a lot more of your own money instead of spending money at the big box stores on bagged potting mix. And it's packed full of good organic nutrients. It's going to grow you a ton of veggies for your spring container vegetable garden. While soil is definitely the biggest investment you're going to make in your vegetable garden, when you purchase the bag mix at the big box stores, the premium brands are super expensive, anywhere from $25 to $40 a bag, which is going to run you a lot of money. And the cheap stuff, really wouldn't recommend you use it. I've used it before and it does not grow your vegetables well. So the mix we're going to be making today is a premium mix, leveling up there with the expensive stuff at the garden centers. Few basics about soil. Good soil contains three components: water retention, so your plants don't dry out; aeration, so your roots can breathe, take in the oxygen, and grow lots of healthy vegetables; and nutrients, to give your vegetables the food they need to grow and produce a ton of veggies for you. And that's the kind of mix we're going to be making today. There's lots of different ways to make potting mix, but my favorite recipe has just 3 ingredients. The first one being Coco. We're going to make about 5 gallons of potting mix today, enough to fill a 5-gallon container. So if you need more to fill more containers, just double the recipe. I love Coco because it comes in these compressed bricks. They're easy to store and all you have to do is rehydrate it when you're ready to make your mix. When it's rehydrated, it looks like this. And it doesn't have any nutrient value to it, but it is a neutral pH, so it makes a really good base for your potting mix, and it can absorb up to 10 times its weight in water, which gives your soil lots of water retention and really good aeration. When you purchase the bagged mix at the garden center, you're really just paying for the convenience of them making the mix and bagging it up for you. And that's one reason why I love making my own, because I'm saving more of my money for myself. This Coco brick that I'm using today is about the size of a regular brick. One reason why I like this particular one is because it hydrates to about just 3 gallons instead of 10 or 15 gallons that you might not have space for. And I'll put a link for it down below so you can grab it online. So first off, we need to hydrate it. And it hydrates quicker with hot water. So I've got some hot water here in my watering can. I'm just going to pour it over the brick and let it soak it up. And it's really fun because you can see the brick expand as you pour the water over it, and then just kind of scrape the brick off as it hydrates. You can see all that nice fluffy Coco core, which is going to give lots of good air pockets for your plants so the roots have plenty of oxygen to thrive. So we'll just keep pouring over warm water and scraping off the Coco core as it hydrates until there's no more dry spots left in our brick. And I like to do this process little by little so my Coco core doesn't get overhydrated and too soggy as we're making our potting mix. You can see the middle is still a little bit dry, so we'll just add a little bit more water to hydrate those last little pieces so there's no more dry spots left. And the reason why I like to add water just a little bit at a time rather than letting the brick soak in water is because I don't want the Coco core getting too moist, dripping wet, and then oversaturating our potting mix. Plus it really smells good and I really like to get my hands here in the Coco core. Ingredient number 2 is compost, and this is what makes the magic happen. It's what we gardeners call black gold, packed full of good organic nutrients. Now this is compost I made here in my own backyard, which is going to make my potting mix even less expensive than the big box stores. If you don't have your own, just pick up a bag of compost and we're going to add it to our Coco core. Compost has so many benefits, adds aeration to the soil, really helps the microbial life, and this is what's going to grow you lots and lots of veggies. Our Coco core brick made about 3 gallons of Coco core. To that, we're going to add 2 gallons of my homemade compost. It'll be a really nice, good, fertile mix. It's going to fill my 5 and 10 gallon containers. There's just something fun about getting your hands in the soil. To me, it's very therapeutic. I like to call it garden therapy. You can see the light brown of the Coco core, which is making the mix nice and fluffy, and the dark brown of the compost is adding good nutrients. Ingredient number 3 is vermiculite. Now vermiculite is an optional ingredient, so if you don't have it in your budget to add it to your potting mix, don't worry about it, it's gonna be okay. I like to add it. It's a spongy material. It expands once it soaks up water. It adds good aeration to your mix. And especially here in Southern California where it's a hot, dry climate, it really helps my containers retain water longer. We're gonna add about 1 gallon here to our mix. So we have a nice 5 gallons just about 6 gallons of mix here. And vermiculite is widely available at garden centers and online. And I'll put a link to it in the video description below. This is a lightweight vermiculite, kind of fine, and so it mixes really well here into my potting mix. Provides a lot of great drainage for my plants. We have our DIY cheap and easy potting mix all made. How awesome is that? And you know what the best part is? This never expires. To store it, simply let it dry out a little bit, pop it in a little storage bin, put a lid on it, and you can store it for years. I'm gonna fill up my fabric 5-gallon Smart Pot right now, and if you have a patio garden, the Smart Pots fabric containers are a great way to grow. They've got handles so you can move them around. They're super easy to fill and easy to store in the off season. Then as I fill my Smart Pot, simply unfold the sides and add more soil. So it's all the way up to the top. If you don't get your proportions exactly right in your cheap, easy DIY potting mix, don't worry about it. As long as you have those 3 ingredients, with vermiculite being optional, your potting mix is going to be just fine and grow you lots and lots of veggies. For some ideas on what to plant in your new potting mix, don't miss our April's 5 must-plant veggies right here, and get one of them planted and let me know how it does. Thanks for watching. See you next time in the garden.